Hello, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Jorge Orquiza, and we're going to be focusing from K to 12 to higher education, teaching adults with purpose. Today's podcast is for K to 12 educators who are considering a transition into higher education or adult learning environments. As teachers, we are deeply skilled in pedagogy, but teaching adults requires a completely different shift toward andragogy, a theory of adult learning, most commonly associated with Malcolm Knowles, um, who is the father of andragogy. So right here in this slide, you can see the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy is obviously more teacher-directed, structured, and guided step by step. In comparison to andragogy, it is more like self-directed, experience-based, and goal-oriented. The little chart below right here actually has a nice illustration of the difference of each style of teaching. Um, Pedagogy is more the students are depending more on the teacher's instructions compared to andragogy. Everybody kind of learns together, including with the professor. And of course, who is Malcolm Knowles? Malcolm Knowles is an educator and leading theorist of adult learning, and becoming the father of andragogy. He championed self-directed learning, emphasizing that adults are motivated by three factors: internal factors, lived experiences, and practical problem-centered approaches. And here he is in the photo. Um, One major difference between pedagogy and andragogy is learner independence. In K through 12 settings, instruction is often teacher-directed, structured, and guided step by step. In comparison, adult learners, however, bring prior knowledge, lived experiences, and bring specific or targeted goals into the classroom. Andragogy emphasizes self-direction, relevance, and problem-centered learning rather than center or content-centered instructions that we see in high school or middle school. When we further analyze andragogy, there are two andragogical best practices that stand out. First is relevance and experience. Adult learners need to see how how learning connects directly to the careers and personal goals. Assignments, for example, are rooted in real-world scenarios, case studies, or professional problem solving that leads to increased engagement and motivation. Second, it is respect for learner experience. Adult learners are not blank slates. Because of their rich experience, discussion-based learning, peer collaboration, and reflection allow students to learn from one another and validate their experiences in the classroom. I've seen these practices succeed when instructors design flexible assignments, allow choices in topics, and encourage dialogue, rather than lecture-heavy instructions. For example, adult learners often thrive when asked to reflect on how theory connects to their workplace or community, giving it that relevance touch to the learning process. That being said, transitioning into andragogy may also be a hesitation. One sec. One concern that my colleagues had when he transitioned to higher education level is finding the balance between academic rigor and flexibility, as well as shifting from being the expert in the classroom to a facilitator of learning. However, embracing andragogy strengthens instructional and deepens student engagement within the classroom. For K through 12 teachers considering a transition, understanding andragogy is not about abandoning their skills already as teachers in high school and middle school. It is about expanding to meet adult learners where they are. With that being said, that concludes my podcast. Thank you for listening. And here are my references and sources. Thank you very much.